The Art of FA Checky on FATV. Another exciting episode. I think we're on to number 27. And we are working on this large cityscape piece. I told you in previous episodes this is going to be a continuum of shows till this thing gets done. It's going to be especially good for those of you who love doing very elaborate buildings, architecture, city type works, fantasy. This is not a real place. This is all made up. Okay, I borrowed some architectural themes and archetypes and things, and there's one Easter egg in the whole thing. I said I would never bring this up again. I'm going to bring it up just in this YouTube video, but there is one Easter egg of a building that's based on a real building in, uh, you know, a real place, real building, down to exactly how almost that building looks. Now, that's just throwing it in there because maybe some people who are into art and architecture will be like, oh, that's that building. So one Easter egg. There are some based on basic buildings, like there's a Coliseum, but it's not designed after the Coliseum exactly. It's just a Coliseum. Other things in here too. I'll pan on I'll pan the camera around. We'll take a look at that a little bit later. But for right now, I just want to do a little intro here to this episode. And it's Thanksgiving today. We're painting. We're doing all the family stuff later. Actually going to a friend's house. I don't have to cook anything. It's just so awesome. So I'm so happy I can just do my thing. And the kids are somewhere around there. We got Christmas music playing in the background. We're going to talk shop today, though. We're going to talk a little shop. I'm going to show you a few things before, after we light the Bob Ross candle, as we always do. Special commemoration of Bob Ross and just a little ritual for the show, that type of thing. Just like my little intro credits to the show. I do it every time. I think we have a little one probably coming our way, Callie, my daughter. But anyways, we're going to talk a little shop today. All artists have different ways of doing things, but certain things fairly common with art, things you need to have. For those that are less initiated in this, getting started, I know probably if anyone actually watches this show, they're probably more interested in learning maybe something, or they just want to see how I do things. Now, for those that are already advanced in art, you might just want to see the art. So I try to show the art a little bit. If those, maybe just want to see how I do things, and you probably could very well do things much better than me. So kudos to you if you're an advanced artist and even a professional artist making a living off of this. That's a great asset to have, and it's hard to crack into that world of selling your art and making a living. But just to kind of get back to my roots of this show, we're 27 episodes in, and it's about my art and some how-to, there's how-to involved in this. There's some instructional, it's maybe just painting ideas. It could just be the enjoyment of art, of just enjoying someone doing art. Watching someone paint could be enjoyable for somebody. I enjoyed watching Bob Ross very much growing up. But the show's about my life, my kids, my philosophies, my thinking. I talk a lot as much as I can while I'm painting, or it's about F.A. Checky, art of F.A. Checky, and the art, all of it's commingled in a sense. And I believe very much so that the artist is a part of the art. Getting back to the show, FATV and Art of F.A. Checky, 50% goes, all the monetization, okay, the ad revenue, 50% of anything we make is going to go to charities. This Thanksgiving, the previous little video, and this one here is commemorated to needy people, especially needy kids, helping feed the kids. We don't want to see any hungry kid get left without. And so this is dedicated to the children and the needy, the starving, anywhere in the world. We have a donate button with the promotion of the episodes on Facebook. And so we really want to push this as much as we can with everybody because we think it's a good cause. If you help us, we help others. I don't want to keep 100% of this money. I want to give half of it, at least half. That's my gift to anyone I can help. But especially so around the holidays. There are people who need things, and we want to help them very much. But I need you. I need you. I'm like, I implore you. I need you. Help me raise some money by getting this these shows out there. The more shows as they grow in value in terms of views, it brings into other shows. You might watch something else. So if we can get one episode to get there into millions of views, it'll help the channel. People will watch other things on the channel. So it's not just one video, a one hit, like, woo, we did something stupid and everybody loves it for a million views. No, this is the show I'm dedicated to. I'm dedicating my time, but I want to dedicate half of what we make to people who need it, to causes that could really use the money. I hope you help me do that. So subscribe, like, share, tell everybody about it. Be like, guess what, everybody? What is this FA guy? What he's doing? He's not just doing art on there. If you like watching art, he's trying to help people. But I'm trying to create interesting content. If I can, maybe I'm a little bit interesting myself. We'll see. I don't know. You might think I'm stupid. Might think I'm boring. That's okay. Somebody out there. There must be an affinity out there. Please. Even if it's just for middle-aged dudes like myself that just happen to have a show on YouTube. I'm still a kid at heart, so maybe kids will like it too. It is kid-friendly. It is adult-friendly. It is everything in between friendly and even older people friendly. It's for everybody. So I'm going to just take, a good 5 to 6, maybe 7 minutes right here in the beginning just to talk. And we're going to light the Bob Ross candle next, show you some stuff, talk shop, and we'll do a little painting for a little bit. Going to be about a 15 to 20 minute episode in all. And there he is, the Bob Ross candle. I decided just to put him on my desk and move him over there. Hi, Bob. Hello, my friend. That was a terrible Bob Ross impersonation. Woo! All right, we're gonna have to improvise here a little bit better. We'll just light one, maybe 2 of those wicks in there. Oh golly, might as well just turn it like that. All 3 lit. We'll light all 3. An effigy of praise and thanks to the one man who, I think, even though he never was like selling his art for millions of dollars, he was still such a great, important person, and I think the art world, because he inspired people just to do art, not necessarily like him. Now, a lot of people do Bob Ross style art. That's great. If you love doing Bob Ross style art, do it, because that's what you enjoy doing. But he inspired me to get back into painting, to learn techniques, to do my own thing, and to actually kind of hang myself out there and hang my shingle as an artist and be like, this is what I do. And I thank him for that, and I'm thankful. It's Thanksgiving, people, so I'm thankful for Bob Ross. I'm thankful for you for watching, and we're going to move on to the next segment here. We're back on, and we're shaking. Let me move my chair a little bit. I sit when I do this. A lot easier to do. Okay, so we're going to get painted in this area here. We're going to work in this area. And you get a little segment here of painting. And we'll talk a little bit, chat a little bit. We talked a little shop, but, we're getting into the groove now. Thanks. Thank you for watching. Thanks, and you have to give thanks on a day at least. We should give thanks every day. Every day, give thanks. But there's just one day. It's an American tradition that, I think other cultures, like, I had Japanese roommates once. And they were the most grateful, thankful people I ever met. They said before every meal, just a simple thank you, If you're not religious or if you're not spiritual, you can still be grateful and thankful. I think the people are. Innately, I think even the person has 0. I have a nose hair there. Just noticed that. Gross! This is very eccentric. Gonna be off camera here to get rid of that. Better. Woo! Well, we ain't impressing the ladies today. If my wife sees this, she's gonna be like, what the hell? What the hell, dude? Got some coffee there, got it all over my mouth. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Today is not a day of vanity at all. This is just, you're getting raw footage of the artist right here. Got my Bob Ross shirt, too. Got my Golden Girls Bob Ross combo shirt. You're getting a full view here. I mean, this is the full proverbial full Monty here. Not the real full Monty, but you're getting it all. I keep a lot of my tools here, a little pencil box here. I kind of just want to keep my eraser. A piece like this I'm working on. I like my wife got me the cigar box, I think from New Orleans or something. But I keep a lot of my pencils and stuff in there. I kind of like to try to keep my pen, but because it's really a mess. I mean, it's just a chaotic. Yeah, we'll show that again. It's it really gets to be a mess in my office, and I need to clean every once in a while. But when you're busy doing stuff, I think a lot of artists can relate. Well, you're so busy doing stuff. It's about the art, not about the disorganization around me. But the chaos is necessary. So those are where I keep a lot of my pencils and stuff. I got various pencils, even just graphite piece. This is just a pure piece of graphite for drawing. Don't have to sharpen a whole lot. Well, you do to keep it sharp. It'll never run out until it's down to a nub. Got some thicker pencils, got some thinner pencils. Got these great ink markers, some of which are just so dried out. But I use these ink markers too for darkening certain areas I need to. Professional artist ruler, metal. Never has a dull edge on it. Always not like a wooden one, which probably will. A good pencil sharpener. And, of course, erasers. Now, there's more to drawing than that. But I do sketches on my canvases first. And I'm going to show you what I sketched. But I do that because laying down perspective is very hard to do. And perspective in a cityscape is extremely important. The perspective lines are super important. I'm going to show you that here in just a second. So there we go. They're a little delay. There's the perspective lines we start with. I was talking about perspective lines. When you're doing a cityscape, you kind of want to make sure you start with some important lines of perspective, which this canal system in the city kind of lays it out. And I actually worked on some background buildings more for lighting purposes, because as the light, you always start with your backgrounds to kind of adjust your light. Have a little bit of work on those mountains in the back, probably to fix those up a bit with the mist and so on. We'll go over those another time. But most of the background with the mountains in the back are quite faded. And this side of the city has hardly anything painted. So we got a little painted on this end. Various buildings drawn in. And I'll show you some of the tools for drawing that I use. But we just started painting in more in this area right here we'll get back to. And you can get a good idea here of what I drew. And the perspective lines are all kind of emanating this way. This is the focal point of the perspective and how it pushes everything out. And this is a large canvas that it's long. Okay, here's Callie. Are you a kid in a candy store? Yeah. Here's my cute daughter. Hi, Callie. You say hi?
Hi.
All right. So I'll show you some stuff I use here. This palette needs to definitely be clean, but has some of the colors we've been using. Today, focusing a lot with maybe some Naples yellow and a little bit of pink in there. Green, black, and white. Yes, sweetie?
Green, pink.
Not right now, sweetie. How about we get you set up later, because we're filming. We're making an episode.
Yeah.
It's hard. If we have an episode where we're not doing what we're doing this time, we'll get you to paint next time, promise, okay? I need to get you set up, because we have to buy more. I don't want you using oil paints yet. I'd rather use acrylics. And this is a good point for parents. Younger kids with oils. I don't like my kids in here too much if there's fumes. Everything's been closed up to limit the fumes, but acrylics don't have fumes. So if your kid's painting, I highly recommend using the acrylic style paint. Like
Daddy,
that type of
I
stuff.
Some for kids.
Mm-hmm.
I can look in here for some.
Okay. Well, not right now. Okay. We're not painting right now. You can look in there, but we're not painting right now. We'll get you set up. We have to get you some canvases too. Another thing, you got to have good canvases to paint on. All right. So a professional ruler. Okay, sweetie. Okay. Various size pencils. Various size pencils, ink markers, like a paint. Those have like a nice paint in them, almost like a black paint. We use that for some of the darker things. Just various pencils that we use, even graphite. These are pure graphite. They will draw on the canvas pretty well most of the time. I have an underlayer of acrylics on here, gray acrylic, that make it a little harder to draw on as opposed to a white canvas. But the point I'm trying to say is, I have various pencils. If you go to Michael's, you can get a professional sharpener. This sharpener is great. It's better than what your kids use for school. They always come in here and be like, "Daddy, sharpen my pencil." It's so good. Okay, so you can kind of get a good idea in here of what we've drawn. Drawing it out, of course. If I free painted something like this, you could use some acrylics to do an underpainting, but the higher detail, I think the higher the detail, it's easier to draw it. And then you're painting it in for how it should look. So we're going to focus in on this area some more and paint there on this building behind the statues that we already did. The arc there, some parts already been done, but we're going to be focusing again. Where's my finger? Where's that finger? Finger right there. I'm going to be focusing in on this area. I'm going to get the camera set up and start on that again. So why don't we do about, I don't know, a little lesson in fine lines and perspective lines and everything that, let's just put it this way, everything that flows from the perspective lines, everything that goes this way, we have to keep those lines in mind, because when they built buildings, if this is a real place, they would have had to have lined things up rather precisely, especially for this, fantasy place. Okay, I think it'll be good to use our tool here, painter's hand rest, for certain spots. I think this is dry enough to touch on the canvas a little bit without ruining anything. But this here I can put down and not disturb the paint. Okay, and hold it on there as a hand rest. Okay. I have an even longer one that I created just because I needed something longer that I can loop this little string around. See, it's kind of funny looking. Well, I can loop this string around. I created this because I needed something for my own purposes here, where I can loop it around the back there as I need, but it also works. It is not padded up top, so I got to be careful how much I rub on that corner because I'll lose a little paint. Okay, but I think for right now, we can just use this one here because I'm going to have some soft touches that I need. Steady hand. And we talked about brushes before. I'm going to be using this tiny little brush. And we're just going to be working this building here. But before that, I'm going to take a sip of coffee. If you're on a lot of caffeine, your hands will shake. At least mine will. So don't want to overdo your caffeine.
Daddy.
Yes, sweetie. What is it?
I said, Alexa, play Santa Poops, and then guess what it said?
What?
It said, Santa's elves farting elves. And they went,
Oh, wow. Wow, sweetie.
and it's playing.
I will admit, painting with this type of thing with a little kid around, this is a high concentration, I think. And when I say high concentration, meaning the level of focus, if you will, the level of focus is tremendous that you need for this. It really is. And I'm painting in the midst of a lot of chaos. But I kind of imagine the old Grand Masters how to paint those cathedrals with chaos around them, priests all running around, doing their thing, doing maybe singing and crap, chanting or whatever. Well, in this world here that I'm creating, there wouldn't be any priests. Talking about the world we live in now. But there would still be people like that were officiants of various kinds. The learned class, if you would. And I'm paying attention to where this is still a little bit wet from painting it this week. I'm just evening up some spots with this darker black. I actually use a little carbon black this time around to darken a few spots that I'm paying attention to minute, absolutely minute lines. Okay, we're talking millimeter, less than a millimeter in some areas. And let me tell you, a millimeter small. Millimeters. Right there. Can you see it? Whoop, bump the camera. Millimeters. Look to the right side of that ruler. Okay. Keeping in mind my perspective lines, which are down this way. Okay. There's various lines I'm trying to match up with to keep parallel in a sense, because they're really parallel. If you were to stand on the other side of the bridge looking over this way, that way from this side, you would see something different. I'm standing over here, probably on the next bridge that's probably at the bottom. Okay, I'm standing there looking right out there. So what is your point of perspective? Wow, we're 5 minutes in. So we'll go a little longer. The longer these episodes, the harder it is sometimes to work with YouTube uploading, and I want to get this uploaded today if I can. These would have some little spires on them, like mini spires of some kind that come off the roof of these towers. 4 towers in all. Patience, people. If you have no patience for this, don't do it. You need to do impressionistic painting, abstract. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying if you do not have the steady hands and the patience, you will fail at it. And that's what I've learned over the past myself. Because unless you are like the Bruce Lee of artistry and painting, you will not be able to do this fast. I've watched some other artists. Some are faster than others in producing these incredibly small. This is not a mural sized canvas. This is not like a canvas you see at a lot of art museums where they're really rather large. Okay. And as such, you will have to work within very tight spaces instead of larger ones. Okay. And it is what it is. Pause in my thoughts. So I'm actually kind of working on these little spires on top of that. And there's 4, because there's 4 on that, each one in each corner, right? So I'm plotting out where these would end up and thinking. One thing I came to learn with this, if you want to listen to a little bit of spiel on this, is, and this is much harder to do. My canvas is moving a little bit because I need to tape down this end a little bit. We'll worry about that later. I don't want to cut into filming. That I'm thinking geometrically, 3-dimensionally on it's a 2-dimensional surface, right? Now think about that for a second. Doing art forces you to think one dimension into another. That's rather significant, and it's rather confusing. Because, as in all things, we live in a 3-dimensional world. It's hard for us to relate what it's like living in a 2-dimensional world because we don't live in it. We we relate to it in two dimensions with art. And so you are forcing yourself to engage in a philosophical type practice and a physical one, a mathematical one, because of geometry as a form of math, that is rather confusing in the mind. And so it's opening, if you do this type of art and you enjoy doing it, it is opening a part of your brain, quite literally, to something that you do not experience on a practical level every day with your day-to-day life. As when you're doing your reading, writing, and arithmetic, your work, unless you're doing art for a living and as a practical matter, if that's what you do every day, you're not in tune with it. You're just not. Okay? Because architects would understand it to extent, but they're also worried about engineering.
Mommy took something from our room.
Really? Can we not fight? Sharpie. Can we not fight while we're having a video session? Is that okay? These kids, I'll admit, you watch a lot of videos on YouTube and you see all these kids that are like, seems to be like these like wonder children. Yeah, that's a marker. You didn't get it on the film though. I'll be really honest with you. You're talking about an episode that's raw and uncut. Kids fight. Yeah, there's Callie's marker. And you're seeing the candy-coated stuff. With everybody else's YouTube videos, you're seeing candy-coated. But these two are 3 years apart. They fight, don't you guys?
Yep.
All right.
Don't even...
I'm going to take a little break here. Okay, so as I suspected, children in the office oftentimes are coming in with one intent, and that's to cause trouble. They didn't come in here to want to paint. They didn't come in here to do anything other than say, we're not getting attention, so I got to end this thing. Because as the kids lose my attention span, guess what? They start to fight. And they like I love giving them my attention. I do. I truly do. It's a joy to be a father. But kids fight. And that's the truth. What, did you take my pencil?
No.
What was that? Colored pencil?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Go clean your room. They got to clean the room now before they get to do Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving at the Friendsgiving house we're going to. Okay, so I love my kids, I do. But, I don't, just a little side note on parenting. Come on. Who doesn't struggle with that? YouTube, you give us a view sometimes of these wonder children. I'm like, that's not real. Parents, that's not real. You fly off the handle. We all do. We all fly off the handle a little bit. Like I was saying, we all fly off. Parents, come on. Let's keep it real. I don't like advertising it. I don't like advertising it. I don't want you to see the worst moments with my kids and me. What kind of show is that? But we're all human. So I'm going to keep it real with you folks. I'm not going to sell you some candy-coated... Because in the end, we're all selling something on YouTube. We're selling a viewing experience. We're selling maybe a product. This is an entrepreneurial engagement of sorts, or investment for some. Some invest so much time and money in their YouTube channels that I'm just astounded. Obviously, they must have made some money doing it. I don't understand how they could have a job full time and make that many episodes with that much editing involved, unless they have the money to pay someone. But I like to keep it real. I'm not gonna candy coat life, but I don't want to advertise the bad parts of it. So anyways, that's just kind of my little thing from earlier. Sounds like something breaking now. What was that? Are you bring the? Oh, you're gonna vacuum your room? Good girl. They're cleaning their rooms before they get to do anything fun today. But going back to what I was saying earlier, in terms of the art itself, it's all about these little tiny, minute, micro lines, because we are not. Again, we are not working a. A mural size. This is like a mini mural, and at these little brushes for little buildings that are in the background, which are actually very big buildings in perspective if you were standing next to the building. Make sense? Maybe. And so, as we get to the closing of the actual little tiny bit of art that you got to see here, this stuff takes a while. This stuff takes. And now the vacuum. I won't even edit that out. That's just what I deal with every day. And that's okay. I paint with noise all the time. And boy, can it be frustrating when you're trying to concentrate. But, hey, life does not stop for me here. They're not, this is not Callie and Matthew's channel yet. They'll do their own channel maybe one day if this ever becomes a success. My channel, then I have to work with what's going on around me, and it's all good. So just kind of fixing up these windows a little bit here. I noticed there's a little bit of imperfection with these little the windows on the front that just needed to be fixed up with some carbon black to keep that appearance of angles on the windows that because they're on the front, they're going to be angled differently. Okay, so getting into shop talk. Your things facing one way versus another will be altered with the angle of perspective and the lines of perspective telling you with which those angles how they need to be drawn out and then painted. I can fix a lot in the paint that my pencil missed too, because I'll miss some stuff with the pencils. Okay. And at least I'm happy she's cleaning her room. I can't get upset that we have this vacuum noise in this part. Maybe I'll play some music in this part. But we'll pause it there, folks. quite literally, like I said, you have to hold your breath sometimes unless you're super agile in some way. You can be steady like a surgeon, but there's a little video perspective on this right there. All right, so from my family to yours, happy Thanksgiving. Have a great day, whatever you're doing, whatever you believe in, whatever you do today. Some people have to work today. I feel for you. My wife is working, and I'm very thankful for her. She works at a hospital, saves people's lives on Turkey Day and Christmas Day. She doesn't have to work every holiday, but she works a lot of holidays. Very grateful for her doing that. Here with the kids, is trying to enjoy this day. It's real life, you know. Everybody's got their good moments, their bads, but we're thankful for each other, and I am. I'm thankful for my friends. Very thankful for my family as always. My Facebook friends, you'll probably see this video. You guys have really been a huge part of my life, and I want to send a special thanks to you, to all my fellow my compatriots on Twitter, to you as well, and on Pinterest followers and anywhere else you see these videos. Thank you all. I'm very grateful for you. My audience is growing. Where our subscribers are growing, well over 1,200 now, approaching 1,300 subscribers. But I need your help. Please like, please subscribe, please share, tell everybody about us, comment, give us feedback, good or bad. I don't care. I just want to hear from you. Email me your art, FACHEKI, FACHEKKI at gmail.com. Love to see what you do, but we need your help to help others. I'll repeat, half of everything, 50% of all monetization going to charity, especially for the needy kids. Help me raise some money for kids during the holiday. If we can actually get this to monetization levels, these videos, whatever they make, are going to go to good charities, but especially the holiday ones, I'm dedicating to the kids, the children. And I know there's a lot out there that need something. So just watching this, just sharing this, telling people about it, you're going to help other people. And that should make you feel good, because I want to help other people. So until next time, be the artist you were born to be if you're into art. Be the person you're born to be. Follow your dreams, your aspirations. Meaning in life is oftentimes about the lines and the play that we get to write in the short time they're actually here on this planet. So make the most of it, because there's just a short blip that we're here. Make that blip amazing. And thank you again for watching. I can't wait till we get to our next episode, same piece. We'll be working on the same piece next episode, and continuing this on for a while. So hope you all enjoy it. And again, we will have to just say so long for now. See you again.